A lot of people, when you tell them about the price for something, their first thought is that it's too expensive. You know why? Because they think about it from the perspective of time is money. I've also been through that, right? I see something I want, or maybe a course I want to take, and somebody's telling me it's $2,000 for that course. The first thing I'm thinking to myself, God, how long does it take me to make $2,000 working as an IT professional making $65 an hour? But I'm thinking about it at that point, as most people would, from the perspective of how much effort, how much sweat, how much time I need to put to make that money. So what it does is that it makes people to see cost from the perspective of their life. It's like, God, I'm selling part of my life to pay for this, so this is too expensive. So I want you to understand that time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. Think about it this way. I feel blessed today. What an awesome day to be alive. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, of course, don't click nothing yet. Don't like nothing yet. Just watch the video. And if you like this video, then you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you don't like the video, leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you prefer to watch on this platform, and I'll keep bringing that to you. For those of you who are coming back to this channel, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. 500 likes, that's going to help me. Also in the comment section, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about what is going on, and of course some of the things I share on this platform. On this platform, I spend all my time trying to just help people be able to learn how to invest in themselves for personal growth, to uncover their purpose, fine-tune it and dislodge it. In that process, also learning how to invest in assets, investing in the stock market to accumulate assets, investing on other alternative assets to build for profit and to build wealth. And when you've done those two, then you also want to build a legacy, a way by which people are going to remember you for a long period of time. I was just thinking to myself, one of the old adages that we grew up to know, and that as I get older and wiser, I realize, you know what? It was BS. You know what that adage is? Time is money. Forget it. Time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. You see, we got ourselves twisted, especially because I believe now, understanding how it works, that a lot of the people who believed and purported and pushed that notion and that adage of time is money, number one, are most likely people who benefit from the ignorance of others not understanding that time is more valuable than money. And number two, people who want to push the ideology that you must only get remunerated by the volume and the amount of time you put into the work. You see, where I am right now in my life, with the things I've learned, it could never be further from the truth. Time is money. Listen, let me explain something to you. The world in which we live in today, it's all about leverage. It's all about scaling and leveraging. What do I mean by that? Let's take a simple example of compound interest, something I talk about a lot on that investing on the stock market for profit. How does compound interest basically work? Compound interest is just interest on the interest of the interest of the interest of the interest. Think about your skill, any skill you want to develop in your life. How does it work? You start learning the skill, you get better every day 1%, and that 1% keeps compounding, and by the end of the year, you are 300 and something percent better at that skill. Now, 1 year after, you are able to perform at that skill with a level of proficiency that is completely, significantly improved from where you were a year ahead. But it will certainly also be very ridiculous for somebody to think that within the first 6 months, you can be able to perform at that level because you spent 10 hours working on that skill. Yes, it is possible, no doubt. But compounding basically just keeps increasing and stacking on what is already stacked continuously for a period of time. That is where time has power. That is where time really makes a difference, right? The challenge with a lot of people in this life, especially at this time, is because we think about earnings. We think about money. We think about whatever it is that we get remunerated in life in terms of money. We think about that from the perspective of how much time we need to employ to that. I used to be that way too. You know what? I came to America and I worked as a CNA. I used to make $12, $13 an hour. Boy, I was young, 23, a lot of hair, full of energy, big dreams from Cameroon, Africa, hungry in my stomach to make something out of my life. I will put in doubles. 6 days a week, I will work 16-hour days. One shift was 8 hours. I will do two every day. And in my mind, okay, $13 an hour when I do overtime, that is time and a half. So it's $13 an hour plus another $7.50 and $6.50 an hour. That puts me at $19.50 an hour. Good money, right? And of course, I grew with that mentality too. I walked into becoming a nurse, an LVN, and I'll put in doubles. Same thing, I finished from there and I moved on later into my career. I became an IT professional. And of course, as an IT professional too, every once in a while, when there is overtime at my job, I will pick it up. Because I thought the more I worked, the more money I would make. And that is true. That is natural. But let me tell you what the downfall with that whole mindset is. It is dependent on the amount of time and physical effort you put into the project to get the outcome. So in that sense, somebody can tell you time is money. But you know what they are not telling you? If you are not able to put the time, you'll not be able to make the money. That is the next level. That is really the secret of really accelerating and really building significant wealth for yourself and to be able to build a legacy. You must understand the concept that time is not money. Time is not money because anytime you believe that to be able to generate income, you must put in time. At some point, you're going to fail because your body can only work for so long. You have only so much time in a day, 24 hours a day. That's it. In those 24 hours, you can only work for so long and you can only work for so many years, and then your body cannot take it. That is why you hear a lot of things I talk about investing. I talk about, buying assets that generate revenue over time. The reason I say that is because I might not say it clearly, but I'm trying to get you off the mindset of time is money, because time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. Think about it this way. And this is what really blew my mind when I started understanding these things and I started doing the math. That's what really helped me decide to do what I'm doing today and take a completely different trajectory in my life. I remember at that time I was working for one of the top IT companies in the world. This is about maybe 10 years, no, about, I worked in IT for about 12 years. And of course, coming from the background of nursing, fine-tuning my skills, learning a new high-quality skill, I got into IT. I automatically doubled my income. And to me, it was a big deal. I've doubled my income. I'm making six figures now. I'm working just 8 hours a day. I don't have to do doubles if I don't want to, but I'm making some comfortable money. But I realized after a few years, when I started doing the extrapolation and the math, I started asking myself some key questions. And I want to encourage you to ask yourself these questions when you're trying to understand these things, right? I said, Gustav, you get paid $65 an hour as a DBA working for a top consulting firm. You work 8 hours a day and you make about 120,000 a year, somewhere there. My math might not be perfect, but just you can get the sense of what I'm trying to say. Now, what that really means is that if you keep doing this for another 10, 15 years, let's assume even a 20% raise in your income. So 20% of $65, 10% is 6.5 times 2, 13, plus 65. So that will be $78. So in 15 years, if I keep doing this, most likely, let's say I have a 20% raise, I will still be at $75 an hour. That puts me, let's say $80. That puts me somewhere about 160, 170,000 a year. Now the question is, and the only way I can make that $160,000, $170,000 a year is if I work those 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for those 15 years. When I did that math, I was depressed. Let me be honest with you. I just couldn't sleep because some light bulbs started coming up in my head. And I was like, Gustav, there's got to be another way. You have to spend a big chunk of your time building on skills and things and ways by which you don't need to implicate time to determine how much you will make. How much you got to make cannot be based on how much time you put in that work. Until you understand that and you start implementing it, you'll always be of the deceptive mindset, Gustav, that time is money. That's when I understood this and I told myself I got to start doing things that are able to generate money for me without irrespective of the time. What if you lost your job today? How long will you be able to hang on? Is your emergency fund able to give you 6 months of leeway? Or are you like most people who, if they lose their job, they are 1 month away from financial disaster? Listen, I know you're working hard. I know you show up every day, but it doesn't feel like anything is changing. You feel stuck. And the reason why you feel stuck is because most people earn more, but lifestyle inflation eats it up. No one ever taught you how to build wealth. Your income isn't the well. Your income is a seed. It might not create freedom if you don't duplicate it. But here is the good news. Here is what I want to tell you today. I have created the Paycheck to Prosperity seminar, and I am inviting you to that seminar on Saturday, the 31st of May. For a small investment of $49, you will be able to learn how to take control of your income, how to duplicate that income, how to think and act like the 1%, the investors. You will learn some smart ways to earn more while keeping your 9 to 5 job, of course. How you can break free from depending solely on that paycheck. And finally, start building wealth that will outlive you. Additionally, for 3 days after the seminar, you will have access to the recording of that seminar. You will also receive a digital workbook to help you organize your thoughts and your actions and put you on the path to success. In addition to that, yours truly will be on the line and you'll be able to have a live question and answer session. If you're ready for that shift, don't hesitate. Click in the link below and go ahead and register for this life-changing seminar. I'll see you on the inside. But anyways, I just came from publishing my first book. And the reason I've been doing that is not only because it's something I've always wanted to do and I plan to do many of them, but it's also another way by which I completely shatter this whole concept of time is money. Because my book is going to be on my website, it's going to be in different sales points, and whether I am sleeping, people will be buying the book. Whether I am dancing, people will be buying. Whether I'm walking, people will buy the book. So that's one way by which you can build an evergreen source of income without necessarily implicating time, without necessarily time determining that. You know, a lot of people, when you tell them about the price for something, their first thought is that it's too expensive. You know why? Because they think about it from the perspective of time is money. They think about it from the perspective of, and I've also been through that, right? I see something I want, or maybe a course I want to take, and somebody is telling me it's $2,000 for that course. The first thing I'm thinking to myself, God, how long does it take me to make $2,000 working as an IT professional making $65 an hour? That is probably maybe 3, 4, 5 days of work or something. I don't know. You can do the math, right? But I'm thinking about it at that point, as most people would, from the perspective of how much effort, how much sweat, how much time I need to put to make that money. So what it does is that it makes people to see cost from the perspective of their life. It's like, God, I'm selling part of my life to pay for this, so this is too expensive. When you start understanding the concept of building assets that generate revenue for you without necessarily working for them, then you start being able to transition to that next level. One of the things I talk about a lot is investing on the US stock market. And by the way, if you want to learn how to invest on the stock market, there is also a link in the description to this video. You can click on it. You can either book a one-on-one time with me, $99, very cheap. We'll be able to spend 30 minutes, just you and me, and I'll walk through your situation and I'll recommend to you the best course of action. But if you want to just go ahead, you can click on the other link and it will guide you to some different programs I have where I teach people how to invest on the stock market, where I teach people how to understand how the stock market works, how to start investing, whether it's $1, $5, start investing. I have clients who have helped them invest just $250 a month, and within the first 7 to 10 years, they're already up about hundreds of thousands of dollars already, right? And I'm going to share that with you. And by the way, I'm no financial advisor. This is just my opinion, and I'll share them. Some people buy them, some don't, and it's fine if you don't. But it's also very worthy if you do, because it's going to change your life, right? So I want you to understand that time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. Think about it this way. I'm 47 years old and I went visiting a friend of mine. He came from Florida and visited another friend of ours in Houston. And I decided to drive to go see him because I haven't seen him in about a year and a half. And when I thought about it, I said, but no, Gustav, you're tired. I know, but if you don't see Carl again, your friend, it might be another year before you see him. Now, if that means you're averaging seeing each other probably once every 3 years, and at 47, let's say we have another 30 more years, God blesses us, and we live till 87. In 30 years, if we averagely see each other once every 3 years, it means we have 10 more opportunities to see each other. And life is over. Probably less than 10 because from the 70s, we might be in different parts of the world and you're old, you cannot travel as much. Listen here, guys. I'm just trying to tell you that, listen, time is not money. Time is so important. It's not even funny for many people. You must prioritize time. Don't waste your time on things that don't matter. Don't waste your time hating people. Don't waste your time carrying disgust for people. Don't waste your time sometimes trying to prove yourself right to people. Don't waste your time in irrelevant arguments and trying to be a winner. A lot of people think it's important to win arguments. It's not worth it. All right? If you believe, I for one, I don't spend my time arguing no more. I don't do that no more. I will share my opinion. If you don't think it's right, I know in my heart it's right. I won't argue with you to prove that it's right. At some point in life, you'll find out that it's right. Probably the hard way or the easier way. In that process, too, I also learn. Sometimes I will throw an opinion the best opinion that I know, and somebody will educate me on the right perspective to that, and I accept it too. But I don't engage in things that waste my time. Life is too short. We don't have enough time in this world. Most of the time we have in our active years, we spend it on frivolities, on things that don't make sense, on things that are not moving us forward. I am a very outgoing person. I'm a social butterfly, as they call it. I'm very fun loving. I love people. I go to places and I just have to shake everybody's hand. People want to talk to me and I give them my time, my energy, my effort. There are times when I will visit 3 different events in a single day because in my culture you have to be there for people. But I've learned over time that it's a good thing, but of course you also have to protect your time. That's why I've slowed down a lot. I don't go out as much. Even as a professional MC, I only do specific events to help people raise funds, events that I really believe in my heart that is worthy of my time. Because time is very important. Time passes by so fast. I remember when I came to America 23 years ago, I had a lot of hair on my head. Actually, 25 years today, in 2000. I had a lot of hair on my head. I was a young boy, vibrant, and now I'm 48 years old. And you come to tell me time is money? No, time is more valuable. So if there is something in your heart, if there's a deep conviction in there, you're thinking of something that you really believe deeply that you should put your heart and your mind and your effort to it, don't hesitate to begin doing that. Let me tell you, in one of the things I coach people a lot about in my coaching sessions, I tell people, every human being, find a way to do the things that you believe is your purpose. In fact, first of all, spend as much time as you can to uncover your purpose, to discover why you were born, to understand what is the role that you have to play in this life. Until that, you hardly find true satisfaction. Until that, you hardly find true meaning. And until that, you hardly ever perform at your best. You see what I'm doing right now? This is my purpose. This is what I was born to do. The money is coming, and it will even be crazier in the nearest future. Trust me on that one. But you know what is even more important? Every day I wake up from bed today, I realize that my time is being put to the greatest use possible. A lot of times I average just 4 hours a day of work, recording videos, checking with my team, making sure we do that edit work and all those different things. Once I finish with that, I go to my ranch, walk around. I'm doing some light development on the ranch. I finish on my ranch. I exercise while walking around. I'm doing some work with some guys over there. I finish from there. I come back home. I take a shower. I take a drink or whatever, eat something, sit down, and I start watching videos of my own mentors, learning. I keep feeding my mind, absorbing what I'm going to be giving you as we go forward. You know what? What I'm making right now and what I'll be making continuously for the next few many years is significantly more than anything I'd made working 16 hours. You know why? Because by the time I get into my 60s, I will no longer need to do any other video. I will no longer probably need to put any other time. But the things I've already done, the assets I've accumulated, the books I've written, the programs I've programmed, the training programs I've recorded, and I'm selling online, all those things will just be replicating money. and I'll need to do nothing about it. So time is not money. Time is more valuable than money. If you're a young man right now listening to me, spend time trying things. Try to understand what you're good at. Because purpose, the fundamental of purpose is very simple. You want to identify what you're gifted, what you're good at. What is it that you do well? What is your passion? What do you love to do? And then you want to identify what the marketplace is ready to receive. And in all of that, you must always make sure all of those things are geared towards helping people other than yourself. You must be able to help other people solve their own problems. If your purpose cannot solve other people's problems, it most likely will never deliver the kind of value to you that you're looking forward to. Trust me, I've paid a lot of money to learn from people. I've attended courses with great mentors. I have great mentors in my life. And from the day I understood this notion that time is not money, my life changed forever. And I hope this is going to change your life too. I hope this is going to give you a new perspective. I'm not saying quit your job or abandon what you're doing. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just start understanding how you can build things that can be able to generate revenue for you without you necessarily needing to put your time into it. If you want to understand a little bit more, click on the link below, book a one-on-one time with me. Let's have a conversation and have a plan for how I can support your vision, how I can support you uncover your purpose and apply that to build a life of true meaning, a life of wealth and abundance. You know what? I will see you on the other side. And don't forget to pick up your book and keep an eye open. We're also starting some monthly seminars. And in those monthly seminars, we're going to be teaching you a lot of things. But all those things will be centered around personal development, around wealth building, around building lasting legacy. So your name will never be forgotten, even when you are planted. Until the next time, be well, be blessed, and by all means, never stop being a blessing to somebody.